up, of course, our main event. He's the WBO Junior Welterweight Champion, Sammy Fuentes. Non-title defense against Juanito Soberanes. We'll be back in a moment. This is Soberanes. His career started with an unbelievable record, 28 knockouts. His record stands at 40-12, and at one time he was 31-0. But since his second fight in '89, he's 2-11. So he fell on some tough times. And I find it interesting, Fernando Paramo, we were talking about his sobriety. Soberanes, it's almost synonymous.
It's scary,
right?
right?
Yeah, it is a little scary. Yep. All right, here's Jimmy Lennon.
And now making his way to the ring, ladies and gentlemen, his opponent. Please welcome the current WBO Junior Welterweight Champion of the World, Sammy Fuentes.
This is a bona fide tough guy. 6 of his last fights have ended by way of knockout. And his fight in Vegas against Hector Lopez was called by some fight writers up in the Nevada fun and sun capital the greatest fight of the year in Las Vegas, and it was boxing at perhaps its most brutal moments, Fernando.
I think that if that particular fight, he showed the world that he was able to hold on to something that he fought for many years, and also he made good on Chavez's prediction that told him one day that he would be the champ.
His record is 31-13, and as Fernando was intimating, many times he's had the reason to quit, been given up for dead, boxing speaking, and yet he keeps bouncing back, and here he is, the junior welterweight champ, marking time. He hopes for a title scrap with Oscar De La Hoya. Jimmy Lennon Jr. again, center of the ring.
Ladies and gentlemen, tonight Forum Boxing Incorporated pauses to recognize the outstanding contributions of ring legend Jackie McCoy. Here with us tonight, he's a manager of 5 world champions and a trainer of countless others. Jackie continues to be one of the most respected and well-liked figures in boxing today. He has graced us with his classy style for 40 years and now has decided to retire. So tonight, we pay tribute to one-of-a-kind Jackie McCoy.
There he is. He truly is.
Ladies and gentlemen, Forum Boxing Vice President John Jackson is here with us to present a plaque.
Jackie's going over to a corner. He's so used to walking to a corner, Fernando.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jackie, it gives me a great deal of pleasure on behalf of Dr. Jerry Butts and Forum Boxing to present this plaque to you for your 40 years of great service to boxing, and we wish there were many, many more of you. Jackie, thank you for all your service.
Jackie McCoy, he certainly is one of the most beloved figures in all of boxing.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, how about a round of applause for a well-deserved tribute to Jackie McCoy.
He had 5 world champions. For some of you older members, the first one he had was Don Jordan, way back when. And we'll show you a list of all 5 that he had. They include Raul Rojas. Here they are: Carlos Palomino, Don Jordan. His first one was Jordan, Mondo Ramos, Rodolfo Gonzalez, Raul Rojas. Some great, great fighters, and a good many of them are here tonight, including Mondo Ramos. And there's the plaque, and Jackie. Fernando, we went right to a corner, didn't he?
There used to be a time at the Old Olympic in which if a lot of the people that used to go in bed there, they, as soon as they saw him walk in, that was a corner. That was a corner to bed. That was their man, regardless of who was in front.
Who was in it?
It didn't matter.
As long as McCoy was in the corner,
that was
the one to bet on. John Jackson, of course, is Forum Boxing. Antonio Curtis is the matchmaker.
He says that he's not working with Cash McCollum, a heavyweight.
Really?
The last guy that left him was Carlos Famous Hernandez.
Yep.
And he lost the last fight.
Yes, he did indeed. He was beaten by a young Zarate.
Aaron Zarate.
Yeah. All right, Jimmy Lennon Jr. again.
Ladies and gentlemen, before our main event of the evening at this time, I'd like to ask you to rise for the singing of our national anthem. And now, to lead us tonight, please welcome our talented vocalist, Michael J.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, who brought strides and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets regular, the bombs bursting in air, came peruse all through the night, that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does the star spangled banner wave o'er the land of the free, and the home of the brave.
Thank you very much to Michael J. Ladies and gentlemen in attendance and boxing fans joining us across the nation on Prime, we welcome you to our featured junior welterweight special attraction brought to you by Forum Boxing Incorporated and Budweiser, the undisputed king of beers. This bout coming away is sanctioned by the California State Athletic Commission, the Chairman William Eastman, Vice Chairman Willie Buchanan, Commissioner at ringside Andrew Kim, the Executive Director Richard DeCure. Introducing to you our referee in charge of this featured bout. He'll be giving instructions after the introductions, Robert Bird. All right, fans, here we go with our junior welterweight special attraction scheduled for 10 rounds of boxing. Introducing to you first on my left, fighting out of the red corner. Entering the ring wearing burgundy trunks and fighting out of Culiacan, Sinaloa, Mexico. He weighed in at 142.5 pounds. His record includes 40 wins, 12 losses, and 1 draw, with 31 wins coming by way of knockout. Introducing Juanito, Bull Terrier Soberanes. And his opponent across the ring on my right, fighting out of the blue corner in this 10-round special attraction, wearing camouflage trunks, fighting out of the Boxing Works in Hermosa Beach, California, by way of Loíza, Puerto Rico. He weighed in at 142.5 pounds, with a record of 31 wins, 13 losses, and 1 draw, 26 knockouts to his credit. Here is the WBO Junior Welterweight Champion of the World, Sammy Mangani Fuentes. And here's Robert Bird, our referee in charge.
give you guys your instructions in the dressing room. The only thing I'm going to tell you now is when I tell you to stop, I want you to stop. Tell them. When I tell you to break, I want you to break and break clean. Obey my commands at all times. Protect yourselves at all times. Let's do it.
All right, the tail of the tape. Fuentes, the WBO junior welterweight champ, is 5'7", so Soberanes. 142.5. Weight is identical. Only a year difference in their ages. Soberanes is a year older. And in the reach department, they're dead even. Soberanes at 31-0 at one time, and then fell to the likes of John Barleycorn and had a disappointing turn to his career. And yet, even while he was in that losing string, John Beiruni points out that he fought well against Julio Cesar Chavez, Terrence Ali, and Vince Phillips.
Well, he fought well against Chavez and Vince Phillips. Terrence Ali gave him the beating of his life, and that's what started his career downhill. But do you realize that this guy has a better record than the champ?
Indeed.
Even now?
Yes, 40-12 with one draw, 31 knockouts. And the champion, who is not making a title defense tonight, bear that in mind, has 31-13-1. Won the title when it was vacant, and he beat Fidel Avendano. And then he defended it against Hector up in Las Vegas, Hector Lopez. So he's making a non-title appearance here tonight, scheduled for 10. And the champion, of course, wearing the camouflage trunks. I've never quite caught the significance of that, but he has that look about him in every fight, doesn't he?
He's always come on the ring with those colors as a warrior. The first time I recall seeing him were against Julio Cesar Chavez at Caesar's Palace.
He has, of course, some hopes doing well tonight and perhaps getting a big time, big money chance of a lifetime against Oscar De La Hoya.
That fight is in the works, and according to his manager, it's already, well, maybe not signed, but it's been discussed. They're looking into a January, possibly February date.
I mean, they've written it down in pencil. Now they just put it in ink. Crocodile Gergen is the man you're talking about, huh? I was interested in your frank comment. I know you talked to Soberanes earlier today, Fernando, and he said I hadn't had a drink in a month.
Yeah, to him that represents
that's a major accomplishment.
Major training for any fight. And everybody, all his friends, including Julio Cesar Chavez, which is a good friend of Soberanes, and also is one of Soberanes is a sparring partner for Chavez. He pretty much told him, he says, you know, get your act together, do good for a year, and go at it.
Soberanes putting on a pretty good first-round performance. I noticed that Fuentes is not above a little holding and hitting there. He had that left hand wrapped around the neck of Soberanes while they were up against the ropes.
He's been disqualified a couple of times for illegal tactics.
Let me tell you, though, that Fuentes is the kind of a guy that you can, and just as we had told you, Robert Byrd, the referee, comes in and cautions Fuentes about it. Let me tell you, though, Fuentes has more than one occasion gone down, but boy, he does get back up. Round one comes to a close. Round number two, scheduled for 10. Sammy Fuentes in the camouflage trunks. In the burgundy trunks with the white belt and piping down the pant legs. That is Juanito Bull Terrier Soberanes.
They told him in the middle of the round, in the rest minute, they told him that he had hurt Fuentes. And I think he did with the left hook.
Fuentes, of course, trying to keep sharp, as we've alluded to the fact or the possibility that he might get in against Oscar De La Hoya. Robert Byrd is cautioning him again.
That's a second caution, and he's getting near where point deduction might be in order.
Yeah. Fuentes, to finish the thought, he can't afford a loss, Fernando.
Well, it would cost him in the millions.
Oh, it would.
Or at least in the six figures.
Yeah. Yes.
And you know, he's such a nice guy that the least thing that he would deserve would be a loss at this point of his career. I don't think he's made much money in boxing.
No, and he's been really around for a long time, and and he's fought some of the very best, has not always beaten them, as witness his record of 31-13. But he is the WBO junior welterweight champion. I'd like to parlay that into one great big payday, or perhaps even more, and who could blame him? Frankly, I gave the first round to Soberanes.
So did I.
Yeah, I thought he took the fight to Fuentes, and I thought he was the best of the two out there. Pretty good-looking punches by Fuentes, but Soberanes has blocked most of those left hooks, at least to the chin. He catches a right hand now, comes back with a solid right of his own, and another. Got the bull terrier in him, Fernando, coming out, huh?
After sparring with Chavez, there's not much more than anybody can show you.
I know you're a Chavez fan. Is he anywhere near as good as he once was, or
I think that he's probably the shadow of what he was, but still, you know, you can. He's given a pretty good account of himself, and I think he's good for at least 6 rounds. So that's why he's going to be dangerous in this fight.
Unbelievable, this man's record of 31-0, and to have it suddenly just go sideways and then straight downhill. Round number 2 coming to a close. This fight is scheduled for 10. Third man in the ring is Robert Byrd. Been a busy first 2 rounds for these junior welterweights.
What happened with his career, we're talking about Soberanes, is that he came to live in Tijuana.
Sammy Fuentes over there standing, and now going to, that's Crocodile Gergen, his manager, trainer, etc. Who, in point of fact and truth, has really turned his career around, hasn't he?
Yeah, basically just to training, basic training. Discipline was one of the big problems with Sammy Fuentes.
Now there's Robert Byrd, as we told you, and Fernando alluded to it, and he's going to get a point taken away, and Byrd came over and said, if he continues to do that, I will take a point away. And he emphasized it by taking a hold of the Crocodile by the back of the neck and saying, this is illegal.
I was following on that thought, is that after he came to Tijuana, he started celebrating too soon. He started celebrating when he was still not at a championship level. He thought he was winning so easily that he thought he already had it made. Terrence Ali showed him that he still had a long way to go.
Round number 3. Soberanes in the burgundy trunks trimmed in white and gold. In the camouflage of the Warrior, Sammy Fuentes, who's the WBO junior welterweight champion, but this is not a title defense for Fuentes tonight.
I asked Soberanes, why wouldn't you request or demand a title shot? He said, well, that's all they gave me, and I'll take it like this. If I beat him, I'll be on top of the world again. If not, I haven't lost anything yet.
Yeah, everything to gain and really nothing to lose. His career has, at best, sideways since '89. He, not to belabor the point, but to go back to his record, he was 31-0. And as Fernando has said on a couple of occasions, he was the next Julio Cesar Chavez in Mexico, wasn't he?
He was filling the arenas in Tijuana just like Chavez had done. He also came from the same place, Culiacan, where now Chavez lives. And this guy was a terror of the 130 weight down there. He was just cleaning everybody out. What happened was that you know, he started getting his entourage started growing. The parties started becoming more frequent, and down went the training.
Yeah, he fought Jorge Gomez in Tijuana, August of '89. Knocked him out in the first round. Became the Mexican champion, or defended his Mexican title. And then, about a month and a half, 2 months later, he fought Ali, Terrence Ali, and Ali handed him a terrible beating. Knocked him out in the 7th round. And from that point on, he has really had a tough time getting himself.
He also was in a position at that time that he didn't need any money. He had some very high rollers backing him up. and he just decided it was going to take it easy, and this is what happened after, he accumulated like more than 10 losses.
Bear in mind, Terrence Ali is a pretty good fighter. And when you lose to Terrence Ali, it is not that...
It's also the Terrence Ali of 1989.
Yes, of course, that's right. Well, it'll be interesting to see how long he can go and how effective he will be. We're into the third round here. It is scheduled for 10. Bear in mind the guy that he's fighting, the bald-headed one, Sammy Fuentes, is a guy who signs on for the full whatever the schedule is. He will be tough to get out of there. We'll be back to see about round 4 in a moment. Round number 4 scheduled for 10, junior welterweights. 143.5 pounds. These two guys busy throwing left hooks at one another. That's Fuentes in the camouflage trunks in the burgundy, trimmed in white and gold, is Juan Bull Terrier Soberanes.
You have a case of two guys which best fighting weight was at 135.
Soberanes is 27, and the champion, Fuentes, is 31.
Soberanes wanted to fight in LA. He sent a couple of challenges to Hector Quiroz, which lost in the last outing here at the Forum, and yet he gets a chance to fight a much tougher opponent in
Fuentes.
But a win for him would mean a lot more also.
Yes, a win over Fuentes would really put him right back into a picture that would be very muddled and confused if you're talking about somebody meeting De La Hoya. And I guess everybody wants to fight De La Hoya. He's the golden boy continuing from Barcelona.
Literally.
Yes. Yeah, he's get the mortgage paid and put some money in the bank and kind of sit back and coast the rest of your life type of fight. You do with him. Fuentes switches to southpaw for a moment.
Soberanes is a classical left hook, very well schooled. He just seems a little heavy in this weight.
Well, when a man admits that probably the best thing about his conditioning is the fact that he hasn't had a drink in a month, why maybe he is a little over what his best fighting weight is. But
well, he claimed that in the past week he had gone 10 rounds on 2 consecutive days in while training, so he feels like he's in shape to go 10 rounds.
But he's going to have to be, because Fuentes has got, if this guy's a bull terrier, Fuentes has got just a lot of bull in him. Left hook. Down went Soberanes. I don't know if he's going to get up. He is going to get up at 8. Fuentes is told to go to a neutral corner. Should have been to a neutral corner a long time ago.
Now it's chaos. Now we have a guy that is, well, they're still counting. Now the bell rings.
Now he's still got to be alert, Soberanes, because this round isn't over. There's the bell.
Now it's over, so it's total.
What a strange round, huh? First of all, Fuentes was supposed to have gone to a neutral corner and
He didn't, right?
And Bert, I don't think, noticed that. And then when Soberanes did get up right at the count, why, he finally turned and saw that Fuentes was right next to him and ordered him to a neutral corner. That gave Soberanes a few more precious seconds. And then a guy from his corner climbed in the ring, and the red light was still on, which meant they were in the closing 10 seconds of the round. Utter confusion. The one salient fact about the whole thing is the left hand that knocked him down.
Nice, clean, crisp blow.
Right there, that left. Now we're going to show you how long he was down. Well, we were going to, but he was down for a long time. And you see Fuentes raising his hand. They have decided to end it. Yep. They're not going to send him back out.
Over in the corner, Fernando Wadi Beltran apparently believes that it's best that he stayed down. Apparently there's also a problem with the jaw. He says that the jaw appears to be broken.
Well, the way they're massaging it, Fernando, it wouldn't appear to be that way, but
I think they're holding on to it. They're telling that apparently the left side of the jaw was hurt.
That badly damaged, huh? Well, Fernando will be going up in the ring to talk to Fuentes, and on his way up, Fernando, if you check over there and see on the health of Soberanes about his jaw. Meantime, take another look at the punch. The left hand that put him down was a very clean shot. Watch now, it'll be coming right there. And I mean flush on the button, right on the point of the chin. Down he went. And I don't know whether his jaw is broken or not. They're looking at it, rubbing it. Fernando will be up in the ring. It's going to end as Soberanes would not come out to answer the bell for the 5th round. A dislocated jaw, the result of that punch to the jaw, thrown by Fuentes, I'm sure, but just unable to continue. Let's get the official time and call. Jimmy Lennon Jr. has the information. Jimmy, if you will, please.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout has been stopped at the end of round number 4. Our referee in charge, Robert Byrd, takes the advice of the corner, stops the contest. The winner by way of knockout, Sammy Mangani Fuentes.
Sammy Fuentes, who is the WBO junior welterweight champion, making a non-title appearance here tonight. Did not defend his crown tonight, but is very hopeful and close, ringsiders say, to signing on the dotted line to go against the Golden Boy, Oscar De La Hoya. And that, of course, would be a very big payday. I don't know just how he would match up against Oscar, but Fernando's in the ring with Sammy. And, of course, the Crocodile Man, Gergen. Fernando's got to turn him around. The camera's over here, champ. All right, Fernando.
Okay, champ. It's the ending was nice and crisp, very easy, but the fight was not easy.
No, the fight wasn't easy. He's a strong guy. He got me a couple of good shots in the first round, but with all the training I have, thanks to this guy here, train me all the time, keep me in good shape, so I'm going to keep winning.
Okay, now the Oscar De La Hoya fight appears to be now right next door. Is that already a fact?
Well, I'm keep training hard to when the time's come, we're going to be ready for him.
Crocodile, I have a question for you. You were happy with Robert Byrd's work here tonight?
Because this is the second time he didn't give us a go. He picked on him all night. You know, he told him about holding in, and then about the fight here with the ending here. I don't know what's wrong with these bloody referees, mate. But anyhow, don't worry about it. First, I want to thank the Lord for giving us the strength to win again. And I want to thank Jackson, Mr. John Jackson and Tony Curtis for working this fight deal out with us, and we fight again in December.
Okay, well, congratulations to both of you, and good luck.
Thank you.
Back to ringside.
Thank you, Fernando. Well, in point of fact, he was holding and hitting, and Robert Byrd was well within his right to tell the fighter not to do it. But Crocodile's done an amazing job with the champ, Sammy Fuentes.